Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest interview for the CCCX update. I know I've mentioned it in post. We've got a really interesting topic that you're going to be listening to this edition. I'll start by saying I'm back from holiday. I've got that dreaded return from holiday cold. So if I'm kind of coughing and snuffling, that's what it is. I apologise. I've got some water off to one side. I'm lemsipped up to the max. I'll make it through somehow. This edition, I'm welcoming Guillem Kelhos. If you're anywhere on LinkedIn involved in CCCX, you must know who this chap is. But if you don't, he's a contact center expert with 18 plus years of experience managing and delivering CX solutions. He's known for helping clients leverage cloud technologies to improve customer experiences and is a proven problem solver with a strong track record in the EMEA region. As a Brazilian citizen who's lived in Portugal and now living in London, Guillem has an international background and fosters strong relationships with a diverse client base, contributing a unique perspective to the world of contact center, customer experience, and conversational AI. So, Guillem, welcome to the CCCX update.
Well, thank you so much for your introduction. I think I wouldn't do that the same way for sure. So thank you for that. It's a pleasure to be here with you, James, especially you, since we have been connected for a long time already. We are working on this market for a very long time as well. So almost 20 years I'm working this market, and you, I guess, almost the same as well. So yeah, very good to be here.
Brilliant. And Guillem and I have discussed what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be touching on something really interesting that he posted about back in last month now in July about virtual reality within CX. And we're also going to be going on and talking about Genesys CoPilot as well. So stick with us as we go through the whole interview. But just coming back to that first point. So in July, you posted on LinkedIn about a project that Genesys, Help Lightning and Coca-Cola had undertaken together in North America that delivered an incredibly innovative virtual reality experience. That caught my eye, and I'm really glad you agreed to come and talk to me about it. So to start, tell us more about that project and what was achieved with VR there.
Yeah, so first of all, let's just talk a little bit about the project. So it was delivered by the Genesys in North America. So for Coca-Cola bottlers, sales and services, so one very specific department and specific part of the Coca-Cola group. And considering they are joining with Genesys, so they not only start straight away with virtual reality, of course, so they have quite an extensive or a more dedicated roadmap. So they can start from basic functionalities right now available on Genesys Cloud, on contact center market in general, and then they move forward. So for example, they have started their journey before with Pure Connect, so another platform that from Genesys, and then they moved to Genesys Cloud. And moving to Genesys Cloud was the platform providing another ability to deliver, for example, voice bots. So they started creating voice bots with some intent recognition. Once customers talking about their issues on the phone, the voice bot was able to identify what customers are looking for and how to route them to a specific department or even collect more information. Right, so we have first of all the voice bot collecting some customer information and really try to identify what customers are looking for. As a second step, they have, of course, all their CRM. In this case, if you're not wrong, it's the Salesforce. So they have the Salesforce to have the pop-up screen for them, screen pop, and show what they can have in terms of what that customers has in their pipeline, what kind of products do they have, and how many times actually they have already contacted the contact center, right? So then provide more insights on the CRM system. And then it's at a specific part of the contact, they can switch to a video call as part of the Genesys Cloud. So they have partnered also with the Help Lightning. So as part of the Genesys App Foundry, so it's a company that provides remote assistance, video remote assistance for customers. So they can easily switch to video, and also not only the video, but also provide some augmented reality or virtual reality. So they can provide overlay in terms of video. So the customer can record what's going on that time. So trying to fix a specific Coca-Cola machine, for example. And then on the other side, the customer service can exactly point with fingers with some specific tools or even arrows. So remove this cable, check this cable, check what's going on here. If you have any problem with syncing here, and then they can basically provide some guidelines more without the human touch in this case, of course, since we are talking about mainly technology in this point, but it's a more natural and more engaged approach how to contact the customer or the support who is on site versus the customer service, which can be miles away.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And is this one of the first kind of uses of VR in that way that you're aware of? Because as I said, to me, it appears almost uniquely innovative.
Yes, absolutely. It's the first time, to be honest, that I heard about this specifically. We all know, or anyway, it's really frequent. We can hear about VR in augmented reality as well. But it's really, at some point, it's really difficult to find very good use cases that provide value to customer. Specific about this project, we are talking about 12% of fixed rating. So it's huge, especially for Coca-Cola, where we have a very global presence as well. Although right now this project was more focused on the North America, but it's huge. We are talking about 12% on fixed rate.
Wow. And what's the next big opportunity for VR in CX in your view, and how far can we go with it, do you think?
It's a little bit tricky for sure how we can use VR in CX, because at least from my point of view, when we are talking about CX customer experience, we are also talking about the human touch. So we need to be careful with when we are replacing or using the technology without losing the human touch. So we can use virtual reality for some specific use case, like product demonstrations right now. So you are trying specific new sneakers, and then you can use your video to see if it's going to fit well or how it may look in your fit, right? Virtual stores, showrooms in general, virtual training, I would say for education, it's really important and it's easy. So you can, again, with virtual augmented reality and also this video overlap, you can demonstrate some specific parts in any different topics that you are teaching someone. Virtual events, conferences in general, it's very useful as well.
And I mean, this is a bit of a look into the future type of conversation, and inevitably, whenever that sort of conversation is had, someone always raises the question of the threat that tech evolution brings. So, we'll go there as well and look at that. And, I'll ask you, what are the potential threats or some of the downsides, other than the ones you've mentioned around the loss of human interaction, that VR implementation could have within CX? So, what do we need to be aware of as businesses if we're thinking about implementing it in our CX?
I think accessibility, for sure, is one of the topics that you need to be taken into consideration when we are using this kind of technology. Not everyone will be able to show specifically, for example, let's say that you have a problem with your washing machine. No, eventually some people with some difficult accessibility issues will be able to show what's going on behind the washing machine, for example, or even in front of the machine eventually. So you need to have this kind of considerations of accessibility, some technical limitations. So people with different ages as well. So we have Gen X, Y, Z, and so on right now, right? So everyone on the same market right now. So we need to differentiate these kind of users as well in their technology, technical limitations, and also how exactly some specific people will not be able to even connect, let's say, some cables, or to explain a little bit more in details the approach and how the customer support can help them. One thing I think is using the virtual reality to show and to provide additional support. And as I mentioned, the human touch is still key for a very good customer experience. So be careful when you are using virtual reality in this case. So I understand that you may are saving some costs without asking someone, your technician, to go on site and do and all the support needed. But at a certain point, you may lose your customer if you don't send someone on site to really help you with any kind of issue that you may have. Data privacy, of course, as well, maybe an issue, and content creation in general, developing high quality immersive content for this kind of systems, virtual reality, many an issue as well. So all these topics that we need to be taking into consideration for sure.
Mm, mm. Data privacy obviously being a major consideration in a number of areas in CX as well, and one that we're going to go into now around AI as well. As we're talking about innovation, I know another area that Genesys has been investing in is Genesys Copilot, and there was a great breakout talk at Genesys Experience UK and I that I attended, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the product and the opportunities it gives to organisations, looking to better engage and support their agents as well.
Yeah, when we are talking especially about conversational AI, we were talking about chatbots and voice bots, right? Where we have, when we try to find any kind of task that we can automate, right? And then at a certain point, everyone were talking about ChatGPT, right? And how ChatGPT was amazing. And then we are talking about generative AI and LLMs, right? Although we can, of course, enable LLM generative AI as part of your chatbot and voice bots, most of the customers and providers like Genesys decide to not go in kind of open the gates straight away. So we should focus more what we can control, especially considering all data privacy and security aspects as well. So using agent copilots where we can easily use generative AI and LLMs behind the scenes to generate, so for example, on the agent side, we have more control, right? So the agents can see what's going on behind the scenes and then check if we have some results and then share those results with the customer. So the agent compiler, for example, we have different features and functionalities that we can use. So during our real-time interaction with a chat or a voice, we can, based on your knowledge base, we can search straight away in real time with specific articles or guidance, or what we call also as part of best actions. So we can identify what customers are looking for, and then we have another article providing different articles or even best actions, scripts, how the agent can engage with the customer and also provide some specific capabilities. So everything is using generative AI in order to try to identify the best action in this case. Not only that, but also considering the after call work or the after call, the agent copilot will be able to provide suggested notes. So checking all the transcript about that interaction, the call or the chat, provide a summary for the agent. So the agent doesn't need to type exactly everything. So this customer call or chat because of this and this and this. So instead of that, we have the generative AI using LLMs behind the scenes to provide a summary of that call, and then the agent can easily change as well. So we're not just generating all the capabilities, generating all the summary, and just the agent will not be able even to touch or even to change. In this case, agents should review. So it will be easy for them just to review and just update or do any kind of improvement that is needed. We can suggest wrap-up codes as well. So that will be reduced after call work as well. And also any other best action that we can do as well. Just we have some customers already using, and we are talking about 1 to 2 minutes reduced in after call work. So it's a huge impact at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Spread over an entire agent's day. And I know from when I was attending the Experience UK and Ireland, and when I've attended Sabio Disrupt and other industry events this year, sitting next to contact center leaders and talking to the people within their teams, these sort of agent assist tools are creating real excitement and adding real value through all the different things that you mentioned there, the different functionalities and different tools that Genesys Copilot offers as well. And I think it's fair to say, as a kind of last point for you here, within the LinkedIn world, you're a recognized authority on conversational AI. So I do feel justified in asking you this. All our feeds are stuffed full of companies talking about the power and the potential of their AI solutions, but we're not actually seeing that many implementations of really game-changing stuff. And I mean, I know you mentioned, not opening the gates on the consumer side and control on the agent side being considerations for Genesys and the implementations that they've delivered. But what do you think's the main barrier at the moment for companies adopting and implementing AI in their CX, and perhaps what might change that barrier?
We need to try to split what is really noise versus real reality, right? And what we can really implement, considering delivering value and use case to the end customer. We have the technology. I have been working this market for a very long time, so very traditional IVRs to what we have right now, more conversational IVRs, for example, with voice bots and chat bots. We have the technology for sure. We have most of the technology is already available, but we are missing a little bit more on the design part from my point of view. So design correct the experience to users, and also how we can, or actually how stakeholders or the leadership can create better use cases. So we need to start thinking out of the box for sure, like this use case with Coca-Cola. So they went to a little bit beyond of that, the basic one, providing just a video chat. Okay, but we have video chat, but what else? Can we do something on top of that? And that's why Victoria came from on this use case. So we need to this as well. We need to have someone on the leadership team to really think out of the box how we can go a little bit beyond of the traditional use cases or the traditional channels, let's say, because we have the technology for sure. As long as we can deliver the most of the value to the customers, real use cases, delivering value, speeding any issue, solving any issue that we have, that's totally fine. I think we are that. But we need to split, and we need to know what is really noise in this field. Everyone is an AI expert right now. You can see on the LinkedIn, we have many images showing that. I'm frequently posting on LinkedIn every day, I would say, and I can see most of the same topics every time, or the same images showing some specific aspects. Training about AI provided by several providers. Okay, we already know, but no one's taking those courses as well that we know. So we need to speak a little bit about this noise. My experience delivering chatbots and voice bots, we can see a huge challenge delivering voice bot projects. Not only about the technology, but exactly how designing the best experience, designing the right flow, considering background noise, for example, if someone is talking to another person next to them. So we need to control this. And so it's really important to design a good experience. So conversation designers, for example, it's an important role right now.
Well, I think, look, if anyone watching this is in a leadership role, they're feeling like they want to be a champion for conversational AI within their CX process, within their business, or they're thinking, as Gwilym was saying, about going beyond, what else can we do? And you want to cut through that noise that you're talking about. I'd encourage people to reach out to Gwilym directly on LinkedIn. He'll be connected, within the article there. You can reach him directly and talk to an expert that, as he says, posts daily on the topic. Always relevant, always interesting stuff. Find out more about Genesys CoPilot, and just generally what's happening in the CX cutting edge as well. But yeah, so Gwilym, thank you very much for your time and agreeing to join us on the CCCX update today.
Thank you, James. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to everyone here. And yeah, I'm one of your frequent readers as part of the CCXS update, I would say. I'm always trying to comment, and I think it's really relevant to what we are doing. It's almost 2 years, I guess, you are writing on your newsletter. Yeah. So, well, really happy. Let's continue with that.
Brilliant. We'll do this again in another 2 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.